Hello, very warm welcome to you. I am Aisha Shetima, and thank you for joining us on Trending Topics with Aisha, a program where we discuss the daily happenings around the world. Today, I have with me Chineku, Api, and Chidi Lawmaker in the studio. Thank you for joining me.
Okay. You're welcome, Aisha.
We have a lot to talk about. A lot. There's been a lot going on in our dear country. But basically, I want us to talk on the House of Reps member had assaulted a Bolt driver in his residence at Maitama while receiving a package for him, or while delivering a package rather for him. Are you familiar with that story? Now, the backstory is, I think a vendor booked the ride for this House of Reps member, and then while delivering it, something came up, and then it quickly escalated into a physical assault by the House of Reps member on this Bolt driver. The Bolt driver's name is Mr. Stephen Abuwaseya. And we're talking about House of Reps member Alexander Ikwechi. I hope I got that correctly. Pardon me if I didn't. But that's the story. Chidi, are you aware of the story at all?
Yeah, there's a part you're missing out. The part where the House, what escalated the whole matter was the point where the boat driver, he arrived at his residence and requested that the honorable member walk over to his vehicle
or send someone
to the vehicle or send someone to collect the parcel. That was what triggered. And then the House of Rep member, who has lost all respect attached to that honorable.
That's an unfortunate incident.
He's a very dishonorable member. Went further and started assaulting him, saying that he can call the police, IG, and nothing will happen. He'll make him disappear from
Even this driver even also stated that during the whole altercation, the House of Reps member actually also threatened to can pay as much as 50 million naira to have him assassinated. In quote, this is what Mr. Steven actually claimed this House of Reps member, and that just it blew my mind away. Like, how do you go so low?
Yeah.
Someone who holds such a position, and you say vulgar things and without even thinking, without considering.
Yeah.
And you just say that kind of thing. It means the life of this man has no meaning to you. Talk more of the lives of we Nigerians. Do you understand my point here? Yeah. So how much of our trust can we put in this man if you are willing to spend as much as 50 million naira to waste a human being?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, but he didn't come out to deny any of these things that Mr. Stevens said. He had come on to actually apologize on the floor of the House. I think that was yesterday, where he actually apologized for the things he said and whatever he did. And also in quotes that he and this driver had settled amicably. What do you mean by settling? This is the problem with Nigerians. So. Yeah. This is the problem with Nigerians. Every time we're asking for change, we're asking for growth, we're asking for a reform. But the little opportunity we have to fight a case and take it till the end, rightfully, we always backslide. What do you mean by you've been settled? You were assaulted physically. Allegedly, you claim you were hit on the chest, Mr. Stevens, several times. And now there's an opportunity for you to take this up, and you come out and this House of Reps member say, we've settled amicably. Well, in what manner was this settled amicably?
So we have, nobody has heard from the boat driver after the dishonorable senator.
That gives the impression that it has been settled amicably.
So what I think is, first of all, we have to give it to the boat driver for being reasonable, for being professional with his duty. There's this saying that says that one day for the
thief,
every day for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. So the dishonorable member, I wouldn't want to give him any respect, because if you treat people in that manner, I mean, from that clip, it shows you the arrogance. It shows you the lifestyle. He believes it's a lifestyle to treat people like that.
Threatening to put him in the dog cage.
So for him to open his mouth to say that he's going to pay a particular amount of money and he's lost and nothing is going to happen. Did you, like, what he said, Do you know?
He also went on to say, call the IG of police and nothing is going to happen. Although the police had come out to actually make a statement that please do not mention the IGs of police name in any of your ill management. Like, do not bring up the police name in anything you do. But yet again, like you're saying, Chineku, it just means that you can do anything and nothing will happen to you. He was so arrogant, so pompous, and saying, I know while I was watching that, the way he was talking, the first thing I felt or the first thing I thought about was, how many times has he done this? How many things has he even done and gotten away with it?
He even knows that he was the boat guy was recording him. That's after he had slapped him, because the boat guy knew, "Sir, you've slapped me for 3 times now." He said, "No, I've slapped you twice, and I'm going to give you the third one." And when the dishonorable guy now saw that this guy was actually recording him, he said, "Tell the whole world, tell them, my name is Senator so. Tell them." He now went on to make a lot of, tell them, no, call the IGP. The IGP that is the number one authority of law and order in a country. From that statement, we can actually deduce that the IGP could be an errand boy to some of these politicians. Because he's unreasonable,
and not only ridiculous,
unethical, unprofessional of a senator. I heard is one local Abia, not another. Who is going to vote for that type of leaders in this country? We have to speak up. We have to take the bull by the horn.
When to push it. Don't always let us settle amicably, let us settle out of court, and a certain amount of money is given to you to shut your mouth. This is where we always get it wrong. This is where we need to change in this country. Do not sell your rights. You have a right. You have been assaulted. You've been hit. Take it fully. You understand?
Yeah.
Fight for your cause. Why would you? Okay, we do not. Okay, what settlement did
Aisha, you know.
Chidi, you're not saying anything. What do you think? It's ridiculous. It's actually quite disgraceful.
You did not add that it is unlike Chidi.
It's unlike you. I'm surprised you're not saying nothing today.
Honestly, first of all, you look at the whole situation. I don't know where to take it from. Let me start with, you mentioned what should happen. He's supposed not to take, anything less than fighting for his right. And what has it? He has been settled. Of course, people will say that he's been paid. That is most kind of settlement you get in this part of the country. But you ask yourself, if this guy goes further to fight for his right, his own right, who's going to fight for him? Who's going to help him?
No, a procedure has been set already.
Yes. So
according to what has happened, the boat driver has briefed Deji. Deji, I don't know his surname, but a human rights activist and also owns a law firm. The law firm has owned up.
And also brought him up.
And they've made the petition, actually. They've written the petition.
Okay.
They've accused this man for abuse of power. They've accused him for attempted murder. They've accused him for assault.
Threat to life.
And they've accused him for threat to life. And I see the story and I don't understand. I've not seen the info, but the only thing I saw the last time was that the senator came to the floor of the house because one, he disgraced the Senate. The Senate had much expectation of a person of that caliber. The Senate has a responsibility. That was why the Senate even went on to even defend the other senator that they said they saw drugs.
House of Reps member.
That's the hallowed chamber. For you to be, you must be a person of character, a person of learning, for you to be in that hallowed chamber. Who elected him as?
It's not true. You must not be a person of character. Hey, bro. I disagree with that.
Why did you say?
He must not be. Look at those in the Senate. Almost in the House of Upper and Lower Chambers of the House of Reps and of course and then House of Senate. You realize that in most cases where they have public display of, opportunity for them to display their love for fellow Nigerians that they serve, that is paid. They are paid from our own money, taxpayers' money. Their flamboyant lifestyles are being financed and funded by our own sweat and monies. these people, you don't need to be. Look at them. I mean, both intellectual capability, both academic qualifications. How many of them? Today we have a president that we are doubting his academic. We all know how it ended. We have the Edo State's APC governor-elect. We know that he has issues, corruption.
Ignoring two lawyers of prominent personality in the country, person of Oluwapata and Asu Igodalo. Oluwapata is, well, before he resigned to run, he was with Templars. Templars is one of the leading law firms in Africa. Asu Igodalo has his own firm, Banwa and Igodalo. These are leading law firms in Africa.
Then you have to you have somebody who said he will bring in security to Edo State to be your governor. So if you look around, even the Senate chamber, even look at the Senate, look at the House of Reps. How many people will you pinpoint and say they have?
What really struck me was when this house. Sorry, Chidi. What really struck me was when this House of Rep member was stating out his apology, was reading out his apology rather, and then after that, the deputy speaker came up to say, deputy speaker of the house actually said an investigation should be carried out, in regards to this case. That is to say, and in quote, he said, "We will not do what Nigerians want us to do. We will do what we want." Or something about what
we'll follow the procedure of the house,
But this House of Reps member himself, Alexander, did not actually deny. Instead, he came out to take responsibility and he apologized. What should have been done next, Chiniku? I think I would say, okay, he has come out to say, I did this and I'm sorry. Okay, we are suspending you for this. We accept your apology.
Somebody was suspended. Senator Ali Ndume. Senator Ali Ndume was suspended because he spoke up against insecurity in the country.
I mean,
he spoke for the people. And he was suspended.
And he was suspended. And somebody
who assaults, what does it tell you?
To actually state clearly, he takes full responsibility for his action. He did not deny anything. Nothing. He took full responsibility. And the deputy speaker was bold enough to say, in as much as Nigerians want us to do this, or to take action, or to suspend you, we will not do that. Instead, we would ask our investigative committee to carry on this case.
Yeah.
What else are you investigating?
Do you know what I have to say about this? If the Senate cannot even go on to at least give something and a punishment to this guy, you should just forget about this country. And everybody should go and rest. Because a lot has been said. The guy has apologized. Fine, you've apologized. That's the right thing to do. But there should be some measures. There should be some lesson. So that people...
So others will take notes. Nigerians put you there. You did not put yourself there. So you don't have the right to come out and say that in as much as Nigerians want us to take action or to suspend this man, we will not do that because we also have our investigative. I would believe that before you come out to state anything, an investigation should already be carried out on this issue.
What does it tell you? They are not there to serve. Nigerians never voted them to be there. Nigerians never voted them.
They are dictating to Nigerians how they want to rule us.
The senator apologizing for all of this means that he is guilty of that offense. And there's nothing to prove.
The House of Rep member is
House of Reps member.
Whatever he is, he has nothing to prove anymore. The law should move on him. What is the punishment? The criminal code says he's guilty of felony. And the criminal code says he should be jailed for at least 3 years. Let him cool off his mind. Because from the way that guy spoke,
I mean, Chineku, and he denied that.
Aisha, do you know what keeps blowing my mind every time? When something happens in this society, we tend to lay so much support on the rich and forget the poor. Imagine what that woman said. The woman.
Do you know who he is? The
woman said, sorry, distinguished. He does not know who you are. He doesn't. Who are you?
Yeah.
It's like I mentioned, it's also going to the first thing first. I want to state that again, they are not there to serve Nigerians, and the Nigerian government the way it is, and when I mean government, I'm talking about the House of Representatives, members of the House of Representatives. It looks as if they are there in a group to serve themselves. And they don't owe us any accountability, because if you see the way they get into power, look at elections, the way we vote them into power is obviously our votes never count. With the way they rig the elections, with the openness at which they brag about, so it tells you you're not in this equation. And somebody who spent millions, who stole millions to rig an election and gets there, what do you think he's going to do? He has godfathers. And that's why, I don't know, allegedly, that this same Alexander, the House of Rep member, has zero bill he has pushed for. He has not passed even, he has not even, yes.
None.
He has not.
None.
What is he doing there?
None.
What is it?
So what are you doing there?
What is he doing
What are you doing there?
What is he doing there? You're asking a question that, of course, has an answer. He's there to serve himself, his stomach, and those that put him there. Otherwise, the deputy speaker of House of Rep, that is Benjamin Kalu, who, of course, shamefully made that statement, because he just said to us that there's no rule of law, that you will not do what Nigerians want. If he had said that he will not do what, he should be, smarter. I use the word, he should be smarter enough to know how to protect the democracy that we enjoy today. Smarter to say, even if he wants to, you can say, okay, if we're not going to do what the opposition wants, the opposition party.
No, he quoted.
It would have made sense. But
he actually said Nigerians.
Us that you cannot do what Nigerians want. So what you're saying to us,
but when it's time for votes, you will come out for what
he's saying is that we're not practicing democracy.
If the vote even counts,
it means we're not practicing democracy,
and our leadership is not centered on the people.
That is
no. Let me tell you what really hurts me in all of this is the fact that Nigerians are willing to turn their back on oppression. Nigerians should learn to stop taking it easy when it comes to oppression. This man has obviously oppressed you, Mr. Stephen Abuwaseya. And then he has come out to say we have settled amicably. What if you did not make that video at that critical hour? Well, perhaps we will be, God forbid, be looking for, a missing person now. What if we had gotten to that level?
I have one word. I have one word for the.
Why do we take this
for that
lightly?
guy? I have one word for him. I think, opportunities, they just come once in your life. You've been battered. Your rights, they've reduced you to nothing, and this is an opportunity for you to follow up your case, so that other people can be able to learn from it and benefit. And it's also about you, not about anybody pressuring you or telling you to drop the matter. You can go for this matter, get judgment of God, and you change. You can change your life.
This would change your life. And kind of, push some Nigerians who are also afraid to come out to talk. This would have been a level to say, wow, our voice can actually be heard. We can come out and talk. We can, we can call these people up, these people in power. We will call them and they will respond, and our voices will be heard. But when you come out to say we have settled amicably, those who are willing to come up, they will just sit back and be like, well, it just happens all over again.
They'll be waiting for their own settlement.
They'll be waiting for their own settlement, like, same story.
Like, okay.
When it happens to me too, let me just, in a developed country, what is
settlement? First of all, is in the public space. It should be treated as a matter of public interest.
Exactly.
The public needs to know
in what manner
happened.
Was he settled amicably.
They need to know what is involved. He's an Uber driver, self-employed by himself.
A boat driver.
Yeah, a boat driver, sorry. So self-employed by himself. The senator never employed him. Rather, he employed the senator.
Correct.
He employed the senator.
But he rendered services.
In addition to that, he's a Nigerian.
The law favors him. The law is just tilting towards his end.
So, and then, what he does with our international image? The Tinubu administration is telling us how he will turn the economy, to become like Lagos, and I've forgotten that Lagos is still a slum. Lagos is still a slum, and Lagos internally generated revenue in the past, almost a year is getting to 1.30 trillion naira. Just IGR. Now, But when you go to Lagos, you don't feel the impact of governance. And this is a man who is now in the helms of affairs and says he wants to attract foreign direct investment with no rule of law. With this, our international friends, in Committee of Nations, we are a laughing stock because this has gone into the social media. It has gone into the international space. They've seen it. And this is our lawmakers who should be protecting the poor. Now, what do you expect?
One reason why you see some foreigners will come in and treat us in our country, they will treat us like slaves.
You see, the Chinese will have like IGP of police.
Very demeaning manner and still get away with it because they watch the way even we treat ourselves.
Yes.
Do you understand? Because if we treat ourselves properly, nobody will come in here and disrespect us.
Because they feed on that discontent. On that.
It's really quite sad, and I really hope that Nigerians do better. When it is time to hold these leaders accountable, hold them accountable till the very end. Well, we will be going on a short break. Please stay with us.
Ready for change? Join LJE Nigeria, an innovative organization driven by change, growth, and economic advancement. For membership details and registration, visit our website ljenigeria.org or follow us on all social media platforms.
Thank you for staying with us on Trending Topics with Aisha. Chidi, there has been a cabinet reshuffle and 5 ministers have been sacked, pardon me. Now, one person in particular that really shocked most Nigerians, including myself, was the Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy. By what we saw, she was working, and the basis of this sack the basis of this dissolvement was that they were not working properly or performing properly as expected,
Yes.
And then we also heard about a toll that they took, a vote of count or something like that Nigerians took. They said that was how they came to this conclusion. An imperial record. There was a record or toll or something. Votes, something about votes.
The Nigerian voted.
That voted.
Kind of in performance indicator results.
When and how that happened.
Aisha, you are sounding like you're not in this country anymore. You're in a country where IREV got shut down in the middle of the election, before election even properly commenced.
Because
you're in a country where did
especially Uju Kennedy, did you people take her off for being too active? Because by all means, what we all saw, Nigerians know she was. We read comments, we followed updates. Everybody was shocked by this particular person.
She's the most, apparently among the most performing ministers. You could see her when we had a lady who was assaulted a girl, in school. She was there. You could see her. She's very visible. She's very
visible.
So when you are competent when you show competence, when you show workings in quotes, you call it show workings as Gen Zs will call it. You're showing workings. You're a minister. You're showing workings. You're showing solutions to problems while you're there. They'll remove you. And when you were showing the kind of incompetence that we have with the Minister of Power, he's still retained. The Minister of Power, he's still retained. Look at what is happening with power.
Look at what is happening with power.
The power grid is greeding.
Like,
he grids
most northern states now have gone weeks
almost
without power.
So
no power supply. And not even a glimpse. And then we are talking about 5 ministers and some cutting measures. And I'm just here wondering, when will we get it right? It's coming from somebody who purchased a jet.
And a yacht.
And a yacht.
And then the same person is telling you
measures,
is telling you to and then look at what is happening with the coordinating minister of the economy and minister of finance, in terms of Wale Edu. Look at what Wale Edu. Wale Edu has needs to be given Guinness Book of Record for wrecking Nigeria within the shortest possible time. Look at our Naira. The Naira is now they said the floating Naira, but if you go to the parallel market today, the Naira is sold at 1,700, 1,600. official rate is 160. I mean, who can imagine when this government came into power? They said they are going to reduce naira. APC during when they campaigned, with what's his name again, with Buhari, when he campaigned, said that's what the advice said, is 1 naira is 205 naira to 1 naira okay. They said no, that they're going to make 1 naira to $1 to 1 naira today, and then today we can see the incompetence in the government. Look at what is happening with security. There's insecurity in the land. So we've made mention of insecurity in the land today. Today you see that nobody can function. Nobody can function. And you still have the National Security Advisor, the person of Nuhu Ribadu. He's a member of the cabinet. He's a National Security Advisor in NSA. And you're leaving him. As if to say the reward for bad work is what will
It's continuity.
It's what will keep you in
the
power.
work for good work is what takes you out of power.
And then look at something else. You begin to ask yourself, now, the Tinubu's administration have come to, just like the way they will always do, and they used to do, come to give us smoke screen effect, which is to say that they've reduced the numbers of vehicles for ministers. The entourage of the VP has now been reduced from 50 for foreign trips to 20. That you hear things like the VIPs around, they are cutting costs and everything. Now, the most important thing...
Haven't we heard this before?
No, I'm coming. The most important thing is you ask yourself, how much has been saved from this cost costing? Cost cutting. And then what are they using the money to do?
How many times have they recovered stolen funds? How many times have they recovered funds and then we want to know where it was apportioned to?
How do you cut costs?
How do you then come and tell us you are cutting costs?
I'm coming. How do you, because we don't have time. So how do you cut costs at where you have 5 ministers, you dismiss 5, you minus 5? Look at the calculation. That is how we had under APC government of Buhari, how somebody who came third became first. Look at the mathematics of reducing costs. They removed 5 ministers, right? And then they added how many? 7. Constitutionally, you're supposed to have 37 ministers. That's the appointment.
And they said after a closed door meeting with the president thanking them for their service, Nigerians have never carried that on. They don't come and, they put out the message to us and we're just to consume it like that. They don't give us any prior knowledge of what has transpired, how these people were actually, how did they even get to the position of say, okay, these people are not even working, especially the Minister of Women Affairs, Mrs. Uju Kennedy. To my knowledge, she was working. Now, this is not even an advocacy or anything, but she really was working. It was clear for Nigerians to see. And most Nigerians, Chineku, what's your take on this?
I think she was active. She was always there. She always showed the perpetual willingness to work. And that is what I think leadership is all about. It's about you being passionate about something and you're pushing. And you're like, there was a session we had and you made a statement that said you're going to find a victimized person of rape and you give him a sort of a position to operate in that level. The woman was functioning in that role as a mother. That understand the pains of children, pain relating to rape and all of this. So I give it to her.
She would go out there and advocate that even all these seminars you people are holding, without approvals. And what are you people giving back to these people? You will gather and just give them lectures. Why?
Like she's a set.
She's what this is not.
She's doing better.
We're not saying she's the best or she's perfect, but at least we saw her own work.
The president has.
There's somebody who is in FCT causing trouble.
The president
in Rivers.
Beggars were just packed up.
Aisha.
Are those beggars?
Aisha.
You know how much it took to fund the petrol and
I think
to get in those beggars, to remove those beggars.
The least of our problem.
Solve those beggars' problem. Fix their problem. I put them in, empower them.
Tinubu is somebody that started politics from the scratch. He understands the game. When it comes to putting people that will not, you understand what I mean? He understands the game. So the president is active. He is also watching. From outrightly this appointment, it is his office. I decide who is going to be my minister. I appoint my minister. The only thing that it will go through
you and get you.
It will go through. He's the
And these kind of
president.
results that we're having.
He's the president.
Inflation. Nigeria's inflation right now. Inflation rate is, according to Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, between 30% to 40%, and that's crazy. Nobody does that. We're heading towards Venezuela. So if you're the head of your country as a president, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to appoint people that will serve your interest. What is your interest? The interest of the people.
All right.
And so what he did, in fact, it is not. Nobody pushed him to change cabinet. Nobody held him by the throat. He was not under
Maybe he
siege.
felt
He
it.
never went to fight Hamas, and Israel held him in bondage.
Maybe he felt.
Has to do
Maybe
something. Excuse me.
Maybe he felt.
What the president did was to remove and put in those that can
And
work
replace.
and see that hunger in Nigeria ends, and see that the renewed Shege agenda continues.
Renewed hope. Renewed hope.
Shege agenda. So that is exactly what he has done. The most important thing in Nigeria is our stomach, is our hunger in the land. There's no petroleum
I mean, there's
and
a
everything.
lot-
And the
there's
people responsible
work
for
on.
this, the major persons responsible, there's no electricity. You cannot run your business.
The
International companies are closing
days.
down, and they're moving to our next neighbors. Right now, Niger currency is better than Nigerian currency. I hope you know. And then the people in charge of this, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, is there. You see, the Minister of Power came the other day and bullied everybody on national TV to say that you should always off your TV, off your fridge.
Off your fridge.
If you have things in your fridge, off. That is going to save this thing.
Save
And
energy.
As of yesterday, the presidency came to tell us that, and then in fact, what's his name? Is speaking for the president. When I mean speaking for the president, I mean speaking on behalf of the APC and this administration on TV yesterday. That's the governor of Nasarawa State. You know, he mentioned something. He said that the reason why that the Minister of Power has also explained that the reason why the retained failed the Minister of Power, the reason why there's blackout in the whole of the northern state of the country is because that our power lines were vandalized.
Yeah.
And then the question is this: when NLC went on strike, right, and asked TCA and Transmission Company of Nigeria to shut down, the presidency came and gave an official communique, a press release saying that condemning the action, that shutting down the national grid is tantamount to terrorism. It's tantamount to. So right now they are saying it's not even terrorism, and the reason why those transmission lines were vandalized is because of what? People are hungry. And now it was also published that the president has instructed that they should beef up securities across power lines. You also have questions. In our national budget for electricity, for security is the highest. Security takes highest. And that's why today you can see retired army generals, buying house in all of the FCT. This is what is allegedly happening. And they're buying house everywhere because insecurity is now a business. Now, the thing is that what should happen? You should summon a national security meeting with all your security chiefs and fire them immediately on the spot. And they should be put behind bars. Why? Because the nation has spent so much more. Over 30 to 40% of the budget goes to security in trillions.
Indeed, the insecurity.
In trillions, and then these people cannot protect our national grid lines, our power lines. What is this? What is security? And now today you're telling us that.
I'll come back to you.
So
Chidi,
we need to address this.
do you think, like in all of this Chidi has said, what is your own view on this perspective?
I agree. We agree to disagree. I agree with Chidi on the aspect of all that has not been working in Nigeria. We all know this, but where I do not agree with him and where I am saying this is what the law is saying is Section 147 of 1999 Constitution as amended has already given the president.
Before you go on, do you think the law works in Nigeria?
Do I think they
I
want?
want you to
I
say
think.
what-
I think.
I wanted to say what the provision of that section.
Yeah, he will. He will.
No, I wanted to say it first before you say where it was or not.
The section,
Because
the
it shows
section,
us that the law doesn't work.
the section reserves. It gives
Okay.
it gives the president 147 sub 3 gives the president the right to appoint those ministers. Sub 2 says the Senate is going to do ratify and all of that. And
Yeah, the
sub 1
current cabinet.
yes, sub 1 is the establishment that there must be ministers, offices for ministers and all of that. But my point is, we have a law. The only problem I have is that these laws does not work for the poor people. It is when a poor man is in trouble, the law does not work. But when the rich is in trouble and they are on their right, that's when you know that you've committed something crazy.
So you do agree that the law doesn't work in Nigeria?
The law works. I will not. It works when you are able to prove it. When you're like this boat guy that was his rights were all of. If he's a very determined person, and depending on I don't know the crazy offers that have been made to him, and what the chamber in charge of his matter is considering. If that is not in question, it's a good thing to bring that guy to cool off his head for 3 years in the prison.
If you say the law works in Nigeria, they will not be talking about the issue of rule of law. What is rule of law? That you have a car and the car cannot move you from point A to point B.
Indeed.
Is that a vehicle? Be realistic. That's not a vehicle. The vehicle is stationary there. It's stationed there because Tinubu administration and of course the entire APC have made fuel beyond the reach of the common man, and because of that you cannot move a vehicle. So can you say that vehicle is a movable vehicle?
And as at yesterday, he still did.
So if
the price of
law does not, generally speaking, yes, I understand that there are cases where the law can come in and then try to, but holistically, in the larger picture, the law does not work.
With the way
there is no way you can tell me the law works in Nigeria. In the law where somebody in this country, somebody will go missing and it's found out that there is a big man behind it, and you tell me the law works. What is the law? The law
what makes me the most here, Chidi, is the fact that we will go about this for 4 years and we'll still go about this for another 4 years.
It's not even about the political party. It's not even about APC or PDP. It's about from the scratch. The Constitution gave us a clear guide. President, you have this power. Judiciary, this is your power. Legislate, people that make the law, this is your power. But the point we see that there is no strict implementation of that law. That is the problem we have.
You know, you're very inclined with the law.
Yes.
I would love to ask you, have they striked out impeachment of leaders that are not carrying out their jobs properly? Has that law been struck out?
Of impeachment of leaders, the vote of no confidence on leaders. I don't think it's also. I think it is also in the Constitution. If a leader is not meeting up to your expectation, the Senate. I think this is also
do you think the president is meeting up to our expectations, Nigerians' expectations?
The president is doing his best. You cannot outdo what you know. You understand? I'm not saying that's the best leadership we have. I'm not saying
that is his best. I appreciate you for that, because
I'm not saying that is the best leadership we should.
Doing his best.
Yes,
I support you to say,
but Tinubu, his best is not enough.
No. Tinubu is doing his best. His best is enough for him.
Not enough for Nigerians.
He knew why he was there. He saw the challenges and said he will fix it. And when he went on a debate with one of the presidential candidates during the election, the elections, the campaign and everything, we watched him say he will not expose his economic strategy to his next opponent. As if to say he's the first class graduate in the room who they are trying to copy from. By implication, he's doing his best. This is his best. Which leader?
Let me ask the question. Aisha, let me ask Chidi this question.
Okay.
Which leader that has not promised us the best before they enter power? That is the plan. That is politics.
But I want to say something. Which
leader in Nigeria has promised us leadership?
There's something called palliatives. Palliatives, first of all, the word palliative is a medical term that says...
Obviously come back and debate more on this. Unfortunately, our time is up. Thank you very much for joining me in the studio today. I remain your humble host, Aisha Shetima. Thank you for joining me on Trending Topics with Aisha. Join me again next time where we bring you more interesting topics. Remember to follow us on our Instagram handle at Trends with Aisha, like and comment. Thank you.